Oops, I did it again. Hey, Wilson Labera is Barry. Welcome to the chat. I'm good at pronouncing these names. I feel like I'm cooking. But yeah, today we're gonna be predicting all of AEW All In this Saturday. For me, 12 p.m. Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern. They posted on their Twitter like the overseas times and shit. They posted everything. So if you're an AEW fan, if you're a wrestling fan, this is for you. If you got nothing to do this weekend, I think this is what y'all should be doing. Go find a way to watch this somehow. I bet someone on Twitter could bless you. And then just put this on, bro. Enjoy your night. Honestly, it's gonna be a banger. The first match on the card. Should I have the card pulled up too? Maybe I should. That's not a bad idea. Window. How does this look on Vert? Ooh. I don't know if I like that. Sent TikTok universe to McGarry. Encourage your viewer. Oh, that's the bot. Okay. I'm not gonna show the screen. We're trying to figure all this out now. We're learning. We're evolving. I really don't know what's going on the TikTok side. Like stuff's popping up on my screen, and I really don't know what any of this is. All right, I'm gonna mark down my predictions. We're gonna see how perfect I get. The newest addition to the card was the Ops versus the why am I blanking on John Moxley's group? The Death Riders. And I think the Ops are gonna take them. I don't think they put a strap on Gabe Kidd because I don't think Gabe Kidd's coming to AEW anytime soon. I think he eventually will, but I don't think it'll be anytime soon. It won't be in the near future. So I'm actually gonna roll with the Ops to take out the Death Riders. And maybe this could preview later on tonight because if the Ops win, then that probably means Moxley could win. I don't know. I really don't know who I want to win the main event. And we're going to talk about swipe right to filter comments. Bro, TikTok, I don't get how this shit works. And I think YouTube got me fucked up because I stopped the stream so many times. But I'm going to go with the Ops the Ops to win. They're a good trio right now. There's not a lot popping in the trio division. If they're trying to make the trios division popping, then give it to the Death Riders. But I just don't think that's going to end up being the case. The next thing on the card is probably the Women's Casino Gauntlet. And if I'm being honest, I'm not really too tapped in. I think I'm tapped in. What's good, Benjamin Morales? How you doing, brother? I'm not really super tapped into what's going on. Bro, you got it, babe. I don't know what is going on. I could get it. Why did I read that? My bad. TikTok's tweaking right now. The Women's Casino Gauntlet, I don't really. What ops do you have? Bro, there's hella ops in my hood. All them jerseys in the background. No, low-key, I'm Chino Hills. My ops are the Ball Brothers. But I got the ops beating the Death Riders on Saturday. Low-key, I could see them wiping the floor with them too. Maybe we get a debut. Maybe there's a new debut in the ops. Maybe we get Hook involved, potentially. Now the women's, again, I'm going to say the women's mid-card in AEW is weak as hell to me. I don't really think anybody in that division is like ready to call up. The only people in the AEW women's division is Toni Storm and Mercedes Moné to me, honestly. Not really rocking with nobody else. So the Women's Casino Gauntlet could be a debut. I've seen people say Dakota Kai. She'll probably go by something different in AEW, but I definitely could see her winning it, or Isla Dawn, or Athena if they have Mercedes Moné win. But I don't see a world where Toni Storm loses, and that's kind of spoiling a little bit of the future. Hey, shout out the likes in the TikTok chat, man. I don't really know how it works, but again, anything that shows that you guys are showing love, I appreciate. So thank you guys. Yeah, I mean, we're streaming 5 days a week. I'm trying to get it to where this looks like this. If you guys want, tap into the YouTube as well. It's a lot easier for me to see what you're doing because I gotta like zoom in to see this shit. But yeah, I appreciate you guys, man. As far as this goes, though, my official prediction is gonna be for the Women's Casino Gauntlet match, a debut wins the match. Whether that's Isla Dawn, Cora Jade, or Dakota Kai, I think they need a big name because they're losing everyone. Like Saraya was one of those names that was up there with these people, with Toni Storm, with Mercedes Moné. Mariah May is someone they lost that would have been fire to be in this like upper division. But yeah, as far as Mark Briscoe and MJF goes, I'm very I hope Mark Briscoe beats him. I hope Mark Briscoe. It's the men's casino gauntlet. If you guys don't know, that's what I'm talking about. But I hope Mark Briscoe wins. Mark Briscoe might be my favorite wrestler right now. He's just so lit. Like the whole chicken stuff, the Jay Briscoe stuff MJF brought up. Like I'm old school. I like when they do shit like that and just kind of like take it too far. It makes it more entertaining for me. As long as Mark Briscoe is good with it, obviously. Um, so I got if MJF beats him before anyone comes out, then that is a fucking flop for this match. But I think Mark Briscoe is going to beat him or win the entire match, honestly. I think it could be Mark Briscoe. I could see it being Jack Perry. I could see it being, if you're in the chat, comment who you think could win the men's casino gauntlet because that it's kind of a toss up. Darby Allin's a guy. If Darby Allin wins, then Moxley probably retains the world championship. I could see Darby coming back and winning it. But that shit's tough. I'm gonna go with Briscoe beats him before we get rolling. I feel like the men's casino gauntlet, like they got everyone that should be fighting for championships on this card. You know, the men's casino gauntlet can be Mark Briscoe before anyone else comes in, and that's what I'm gonna end up going with. The next match we're gonna talk about is the Hurt Syndicate versus Jet Speed versus the Patriarchy. Now this one's a little tougher, because as far as like traditional wrestling goes, Jet Speed probably should win this, but the Hurt Syndicate is so over. And I feel like the AEW tag division isn't crazy. I think like the Young Bucks and FTR should be the ones like challenging for this, not Jet Speed and the Patriarchy. So I'm going to go with the Hurt Syndicate. I just don't like any of these other tag teams. I love Kevin Knight, and Speedball is cool too, but I think Kevin Knight's like the next guy. Maybe we get like a Kevin Knight or even a Mike Bailey heel turn and they join the Hurt Syndicate. I think that would be cool, but I really doubt it. I'm gonna go with the Hurt Syndicate, kind of wiping the floor with everybody else in this division. Next, Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland versus the Young Bucks. Now, if you're not aware of this match, the Young Bucks are putting their fucking jobs on the line. They're high position with the company, and they're facing Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland, who are two of like the best wrestlers in the world. And if they lose, they can't go after the AEW World Championship for, I believe it's a year. So I'm going to go with this one is so tough. I'm not gonna lie because the Bucks are a cohesive unit. Ospreay and Swerve aren't. This one is so tough. But I just don't know how you put Ospreay and Swerve on the same team and you have them lose. You know, that's like putting Roman and Cody together in the WWE. That's like putting Jordan and LeBron together. I'm gonna go with Ospreay and Swerve for this one. I think it is, and like you just can't make them look bad unless there's a lot of involvement. I could see maybe Jack Perry coming out and screwing them over, but that would low-key suck. You know, like that. No one would like that. No fan in the arena is like praying they see Jack Perry on Saturday. So I'm gonna go with Ospreay and Swerve. It just feels safer. But this one I think is the safest. Adam Cole versus Kyle Fletcher. It definitely should be Kyle Fletcher winning. Kyle Fletcher is like the next up guy. He's definitely going to be a world champion at some point in the company. So I would give this championship to Kyle Fletcher so that Freaky Fletcher could show out. Put the belt on him. Put some gold in the Don Callis family if Takeshita doesn't win. I wish Takeshita versus Bandito was on this show because I think that's going to be a banger. And I don't have like access to watching ROH. But Kyle Fletcher versus Adam Cole, give me Kyle Fletcher. And Loki, I hope he kind of dog walks him. I think that would make it insane. Now, Okada versus Kenny Omega. This is a different story. Now, this one's even, bro. I'm not going to lie. This one's even. I feel like Okada hasn't been taken seriously while he's in America until recently with this Don Callis stuff, because he's running that whole like middle finger gimmick. So I don't think people take him seriously. And I think that's why a lot of people on Twitter are leaning towards Kenny Omega, because Omega is like the biggest guy in the company. But I low-key think Okada is going to win this. I think they need a swerve, first of all. I feel like a lot of the predictions I've said are at least the obvious guys. So if I was booking the show, then I would have Okada win this because everyone expects Kenny Omega to win it. I think that this would shoot Okada That was a crazy motion. This would set Okada up to be like a serious character in AEW. And Kenny Omega is great on the chase, and he could chase the title, and maybe he could win the Continental Classic and fight Okada again. I think that's a realistic outcome. I'm gonna go with Okada here because I just like Okada. I like the talent, and I feel like AEW hasn't done him right, and I think this is their turning point. And I think this is like one of the biggest matches of the card because if Okada wins, then you have another big dog in the division. Like he's obviously like at any point could challenge for the world title, but it would feel forced if he did. I think if he beats Kenny, then it's like, okay, like now we got a real dog. And then the final two matches, Tony Storm versus Mercedes Moné. I hope Tony Storm wins, man. Tony Storm might be my favorite. Definitely one of my favorite women's wrestlers, but might be my favorite wrestler in general, just because the character work is elite. She just kills it on the mic. She rips Mercedes Moné apart every single week. I'm gonna go with Tony to beat her. I know Mercedes Moné is undefeated and stuff like that, and I feel like low key, Moné is undefeated at WrestleMania, and All In is WWE's WrestleMania, so they could have her win and like keep the streak alive, I guess, the streak, even if it crosses over from WWE to AEW. But I'm going to go with Tony. I'm going to go with Tony. I just think it would be cool to have the whole, like, she has every belt, but she can't get this one type beat. So that's my prediction for that one, with Tony Storm retaining. And finally, Jon Moxley versus Hangman. And now this one has me really torn, right? Because a lot of people online are saying the show's ruined if Moxley wins. It just depends how the Casino Gauntlet goes, because if Darby Allin wins, then it's not. Or if Ospreay and Swerve win, then they could obviously go after Moxley too. But I think it should be Hangman, and I think Swerve versus Hangman is what they want to do for the belt, because they were running Swerve versus Hangman, but we didn't really see that while Swerve was champion because of the Daniel Bryan stuff. So maybe they want to put it back and get Swerve back in that main big dog picture. I'm very torn on this one because I low-key would want to see Darby Allin dethrone Moxley. But at the same time, I got to go with Hangman, man. It just feels right. A Texas death match for the Cowboy in Texas. Like, they're setting up a fucking Swerve. They're going to get me. And I hope they do, honestly, because that's the fun of wrestling. I know this was kind of a weird off thing that we don't really talk about on here. We don't really do any wrestling content. So if you're rewatching this at home, let me know in the comments down below if this is something you're interested in. What's up, Lena? What's up, cuz? But yeah, let me know in the comments if it's something you guys are interested in. I'm gonna have a basketball video out today, so this isn't a full transition or nothing like that to wrestling content. I just wanted to try it out, experiment a little bit. So if that's something you guys are interested in, let me know. If you're in the TikTok live, head over to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/runtheplay, where you could see a bunch of basketball, football, baseball, kind of any sport really videos. I'm definitely going to do UFC. I might do UFC next week too. So if that's something you guys would want to catch, be sure to do that. These streams are going crazy, man. I really think they're going to take us to the moon. We have been streaming. We've done 10 streams the last 14 days, 10 videos the last 14 days, 10 shorts the last 14 days. We're hustling hard. I got nothing better to do. You know, I might as well put out some of the best content on any platform for you guys. But yeah, anyways, again, you could join our Discord as well. That's a big thing. We're running sports trivia on Discord. If you win, you get a risk-free. No, I just mixed up my plugs. If you win, you get a $25 Amazon gift card. We're doing trivia every day, so you got a chance. And if you hustle hard, you can win a $25 Amazon gift card at the end of each month. Bangers after bangers after bangers after bangers. That's all we put out, man. And shout out Boom Fantasy. You could use code RTP for a risk-free bet up to $100. Yep. So show